Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Curseof and welcome back to another video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to bring you guys the top cut decks from YCS Hartford. I know what you're thinking. Hartford was a while ago. I realize that. I'm a bit late to the party. I'm really good at this late to the party thing. I know this is a bit late. YCS Charlotte was around about a month ago, but I want curseof Yugioh to be the one-stop shop for all these tournament breakdowns for these major events, these YCS level events. So I need to be here to break down Hartford for you guys. So if you haven't already seen what happened in Hartford, well, stick around because we're going to go over it in today's video. So essentially at YCS Hartford, which was on this date, I honestly don't remember it, but editing curseof can go figure it out for you guys. On that date, we had a YCS giant card on the first date and then a YCS giant card on the second date. 2-day event, 2 giant cards that are speed duel oriented events. And what I'm going to bring to you guys is essentially the first and second place decks from both these events. By the way, these are single elimination events. The caliber of players isn't always super high, so some weird decks might sneak in, steal top cuts, but that doesn't matter for the Speed Duel League Top 10 Global Leaderboard. You guys head down to the description, you can go over to the Speed Duel League Discord server, where the Speed Duel League Top 10 Global Leaderboard is back. Thanks to Casual Chaos, we have a $150 prize distribution among the top 5 slots of the leaderboard. I'm working on the graphics, Sofacord is taking care of the points, and guess what? We don't know a Discord user that won the day 1 event, and we don't know the Discord user that got second place in the day 2 event. You guys are missing out on 2 points if you got first, or 1 point if you got second. And fun fact, 3 points get you into the top 10. So you are this close to getting there. So if you're one of these people that played one of these decks and top one of these events, down in the description, head over to the Discord, let us know. We need to find you so we can, well, give you your points. You never know, you might win some money. Anyway, you guys are here for the deck lists. So let's jump into day 1, second place. So here we have the day 1 second place deck list, and it is unions. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna go over a lot of these decks in depth except for one specifically. Unions, this is like last format unions. It actually has 0 new cards in it. The person that played this is in the Speed Duel League Discord server and did essentially say, yeah, I just took my cards that I had from Battle City Box, never bought GX Box, entered and got second place because low caliber of duelists. But yeah, it has your standard union cards that you need to have, basically the deck core here. Obelisk is usually seen on the side, but some people do main deck it. Sphere Kribo is a weird choice. Besides that, it is a Battle City format union deck, and it got second place. I mean, Unions is still a tier 2 deck this format. It's a fantastic deck. Not surprising to see it get second place. That's all I really want to say about this. Moving off into first place, day 1, we have Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. We have Moth. And, yeah, Moth is nuts. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution is absurd skill. You guys know the drill. I just want to mention a few things here. Essentially, there's some interesting techs you'll see in this deck, that being Share the Pain in the main deck, and Waking in the side is also kind of interesting, plus another Share the Pain. And also, I don't know how I feel about Knock in the main. It's not necessarily bad, but not necessarily good. Irregardless, Share the Pain is the real questionable thing here. And more than that, 23 cards. There is no reason to play a 23 card variant of Moth. You play 20 cards, you want to see your Parasite as soon as possible. You want to be able to do what Moth does, and this is just making you less likely to get access to your combo, which is just incorrect. Also, not 3 Book of Moon is wrong. But Moth is really, really good. So even though you're playing a 23 card deck with questionable cards, Moth is phenomenal deck, and if you can pilot a deck competently at all, you have a very good shot of topping. I'm not going to go too in depth, but yeah, that's first day one. Moving off into day two here, and these are the decks I want to focus a little bit more on, as day two had a bit more relevant stuff and or interesting stuff. The first one here is day two's second placed Ancient Gear deck. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ancient Gears that got second place. This is actually, I think, the only Ancient Gear deck that has a real performance this format, unless you include Rooks, but that was in a sealed format, so sorry, Rook. You're cool, but no. But yeah, Warrior Lady's a staple. You're playing the best Ancient Gears and Golem. The best Ancient Gears and Golem. You're playing middle-aged mechs as your skill here. This is essentially going to help you get out Golem easier. Obviously, Gear Town's a good card, and it can turbo you into a Ancient Gear Knight or a Toon Ancient Gear Golem. Regardless, Toon Ancient Gear Golem is essentially in here literally for the Gear Town target. Double Cyclone is here to pop Gear Town, pop back row. Floodgate's good card, Wall D is good card. Essentially, really just seems like, hey, I like Ancient Gears, and I know that 20 cards is the correct amount of cards. What a concept. Guys, stop this 30 card propaganda. So props to this guy, 20 card Ancient Gears, topping with Ancient Gears. It really is fairly standard-ish. And yeah, played 20 cards, played good cards. Honestly proud of him. I think Offerings is a questionable side card here. But besides literally Offerings, I actually like the deck a lot. And the extra deck, of course, is the only Ancient Gear Fusion monster, because what else would you want? So props to you. Once again, we don't know who you are. If you want to jump over to the Speed Duel League Discord if you're watching the video and get your free point, and also just hang out with the Speed Duel community, the biggest online Speed Duel community. It's right within your grasp in this description. Anyway, moving on to the deck I really want to truly discuss here. That is the day two first place deck list, and that is Moth. Yes, Moth did indeed win day one and day two. So, new burn format? No, the king still reigns. Moth is still the best deck in Speed Duels. That has not changed. And yeah, if the fact that it's had at least 2 tops in every major online event, and the fact that it's won 2 out of the 4 YCS events isn't proof enough, well, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, the reason I want to talk about this list more than any of the others is because this is what I believe is the optimal way to play Moth. And I'm going to give a huge props to SofaCord for really solidifying this format. Dino Bones, who is the person who played this list, also gave a huge props to SofaCord. Essentially, you have your Moth engine. Then you have all your best staples like Triple Breaker, Triple Warrior Lady, Triple Book, and Triple Zoma, because these are the staples of the format. And then you essentially have 3 flex spots. Technically, you can argue that Cosmic can't really be switched out for anything else, but you could if you really wanted to. But this is the real slot where you can put in your spicy tech. Dino Bones chose to go with Knock. SofaCord did Wall of D. You could also argue Nightmare Wheel because it pairs so well with 3500 direct. It's just 500 burn to, get game. Maybe Sphere Karibo to help versus something. I don't know. Basically, you can argue other cards to put in the slot, but this really is the standard Moth deck. The sideboard here, I don't want to go too in depth on. Essentially, Unions, Burn, Moth Mirror, Straight Flush, Burn. If you guys want to actually know what the matchups were for this Moth deck, though, this is the only one I cared enough to grab the matchups for, because it is the only one that I feel is a true competitive list. I'm not saying the Ancient Gears was bad per se, but it's not a competitive deck. But yeah, so 5 rounds, single elimination. Round 1 was versus Unions. beat Unions. I'm sure Defusion came in huge. Round 2 was Dragoon, another one for Defusion. Round 3 was a Moth Mirror. Round 4 was versus Spellproof, and round 5 was obviously the Ancient Gears, which got 2nd place. So all competitive decks except for literally Ancient Gears, and did manage to clean up against all of them, including the Mirror, including the quote-unquote anti-Moth deck in Spellproof, Unions, which actually has a pretty okay Moth matchup, and Dragoon, which can definitely do stuff versus Moth, but I'm sure having Warrior Lady and then Defusion on the side probably just shut down Dragoon. But irregardless, Moth is Moth. So yeah, that's basically it. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I know this is old news, but I really did want to cover these decks. If you guys enjoy this kind of content and you enjoy meta discussions and breakdowns, highly recommend subscribing and sticking around, as we have a lot more cursive Yugioh content on the way, including Patreon content soon. Also, if you're the person that played the day 1 Moth build and got first, you're owed 2 points in the Speed Duel League Top 10 Global Leaderboard. Or if you're the person that got 2nd place at day 2 with Ancient Gears, you're owed 1 point over on the leaderboard. Highly recommend heading over there, claiming your point, and even if you don't care about your point, it's the biggest online Speed Duel community, and we would love to have more Speed Duelists over there. That's a wrap, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps against the algorithm. That's a wrap, guys.